Friends, amigos, compadres, what is up? Greg Newmaster here, coming at you with another action figure review during this apocalyptic time of the presidential election. Hopefully nothing gets smashed and burned. But here we are with more action figures as always. I was a little bit slow on this video. I just had so many things to review. But today I have Marvel Legends X-Force Warpath, aka Thunderbird 2, James Proudstar, brother of the original Thunderbird, who came from the second incarnation of the X-Men and giant-size X-Men with the international team of Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Banshee, who am I forgetting? Cyclops was the leader of the team, obviously, and Sunfire. Sunfire, can't forget Sunfire. And also Thunderbird, who was James's brother John, who died on their second mission. And Warpath blamed the X-Men for his brother's death. And I always liked Warpath. I always thought he was a really cool looking character. He just had a great look. Just real huge. He's like approximately 7 feet tall, superhuman strength, speed, agility, senses. He can even fly sometimes, depending on who's riding him, and he always carries the badass knives. So Toy Biz did a couple versions of Warpath. Oh, by the way, he was first featured in New Mutants, and then later was a prominent member of Cable's X-Force team, which was the more militant version of the X-Men. And then he was also in the second incarnation of X-Force, which I thought was awesome, where he wore the silver and black uniform, and they were just basically a strike team that assassinated mutant threats, led by Cyclops then as well, secretly. Love those books. If you have never read them, pick them up. They're so good. I forget who wrote those, though. But excellent stories featuring Archangel, Wolverine, Phantom X, I think, is in it as well, and Laura, X-23, Wolverine is in it also. Anyhow, let's get a look at this figure. I love it. Standard box. Got a nice image artwork on the side. There he is on the back. It says, Marvel's Warpath, a powerful mutant with superhuman strength, speed. Warpath is a formidable warrior with a proud and noble heart. So this comes from the Strong Guy Build-A-Figure series. So also, if you guys were fans of the second incarnation of X-Factor, who was led by Havoc, Cyclops' brother, which I really like Havoc. Didn't really care about Strong Guy. He was just like another muscle figure on the team, like the Hulk or the Thing, Colossus. You know, they always have a strong mutant or hero on any of the superhero teams. So anyhow, that's the wave that he comes in. There's the other side of the box. There's the top of the box, bottom of the box, so you know it's legit. And let's crack this baby open. Experience him together. Yeah, I gotta say, I was very satisfied with the Toy Biz version of the Warpath I saw. But when I saw that they were going to put this one out, I had to get him because I hated the hip articulation in the Toy Biz version. It's a little bit gangly. I don't like the way that they do that. They do that in I'll show you in a second, but they do it in a lot of the Star Wars toys. So let's get them out of the bubble. I mean, I already instantly, I love the proportions of this figure. Have a critique immediately, though. Here's Strong Guy's fat leg. I'll probably sell that. See if I can sell that on eBay. Already have a critique, though. Where in the hell are his Bowie knives? Warpath is always featured with his 2 knives, and this figure doesn't come with them, which is incredibly disappointing. And, you know, instead of giving us 2 sets of hands, I would have much rather. Oh, look at that! So this is sort of the crappy thing that Hasbro does. Instead of sculpting, which is a plus and a minus, they just put pieces on. And for example, on the Cyclops figure, we've had a few Cyclops figures, the 90s Jim Lee style Cyclops figure. Like all of his little straps and stuff are loose instead of sculpted or at least glued on. Look at this. This shoulder pad, which looks really cool, just came off. You know, so it's like I gotta either glue that on myself. I mean, granted, it gives you the option to take things on and off, but you know, for example, a lot of the tassels on the boots. For example, here is the Thunderbird figure. They leave these like loose goods on the figures, and it's just really annoying. It's like, why couldn't you glue that? Is that going to be that much more money? I mean, maybe so, but come on, like glue that on. So we have the same issue with this Warpath, but I gotta say, this sculpt is fantastic. The proportions, the musculature just looks great. In addition to the articulation, I mean, look at that, guys. That looks like, look at that. That's a really good face sculpt. I really like that. The hair is like soft enough that you can move it out of the way. This is actually pretty firm hair. They even put the little feathers in his hair, which is awesome. That's a really nice touch. Really great sculpt. So let's go over some articulation here. Shoulders go that high. I'll take the shoulder pads off so you guys can get a better look at the articulation. So I can get the shoulders up all the way. We got the butterfly joints and the pecs, which are fantastic. So his arms can go all the way back that far, and they can, oh, look at that. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful articulation there. You know, they say sometimes Warpath does a thunderclap, and they've said a thunderclap from Warpath can even take down a Sentinel, which has happened in the comics. I love that torso articulation. Look at that. That's a full crunch. We can get this guy all the way over. The head articulation is really good. We can get his head up like that, but it's hindered by his hair, which is pretty firm. It's not a soft enough rubber. So it is on the standard ball joint, and luckily this head is tight where a lot of the neck joints in these Hasbro figures have been very loose, so this is really tight, so I'm really happy about that. Back goes back that far. We got bicep swivel. We got the double jointed elbows. Thank you, Lord. I love that. We got wrist. We got the hinge. We got the swivel. So very good, except very disappointing that it didn't come with any knives. That's really lame. Oh, look at that kick, man. Look at that ham hock. It's like I'm kicking the extra point for the field goal. But double jointed knees, look at that. Nice thigh swivel. It doesn't look like there's really any paint mistakes on my figure. A little scuff on the knee there, not a big deal. And this figure just looks fantastic. I love it. Ankle up and down. We got the pivot in the rock. Look at that, very nice. No toe articulation like the old school. I'll show you guys that one in a moment. But just, oh, look at that too. They even made it like a V instead of a like a straight line. See, so that's a really nice touch on this sculpt. So instead of it being just like a straight boxy line, it's sculpted in there with the abdominal crunch and articulation, which is really, really great. He can do that far of a straddle, so that's not too much there, but has a nice kick. So for such a big, bulky figure, great articulation, and the sculpt is gorgeous. I love this sculpt. You know, sometimes Hasbro, they knock it out of the park with these comic book figures, with the Marvel figures, and other times they look real cheap and generic, but this one looks really good. So here he is compared to his brother. This is from the Storm 2-pack. So he's much larger. Probably way more powerful than his brother. I also like this design of the bird, this bird logo. Kind of reminds me of Batman the Animated Series Nightwing logo. But just really nice bird logo. He has a pouchy belt, which is a trademark of Rob Liefeld from the 90s, who just was excessive in his pouches and disproportion. And he didn't know how to draw feet, which was really weird. If you pay attention to a lot of Rob Liefeld's drawings of X-Force in the 90s or any of his characters, they didn't have feet. Here he is compared to the Uncanny X-Force version of himself. I love this figure, I really do, but it's not perfect. So, for example, these are the weird hip joints I was talking about. It's on a weird V swivel. So, like, to get it to kick straight up, you kind of like turn it, and it's just it's not friendly. It's not play friendly. It's really annoying to like pose. And for example, they would paint the joint and then that always scratches off. But it's a great figure. And this guy came with the knives, but they sculpted it so big they didn't give him the double joints and the elbows, which is surprising for Toy Biz because they're always excessive. However, this could be Hasbro, but I'm pretty sure this is Toy Biz. It might have been at the point where they switched over by the time this figure came out, but I can't remember. Please correct me in the comments. And this guy has the toe articulation too, when they just always gave the excessive articulation. But that face sculpt is phenomenal, just with the dark red eyes and the mask. I love this figure. I immediately went there. There were two versions. There was the proper costume, which was the blue and the red, and then there was the X-Force version, the Uncanny X-Force, which I decided to go for. But let's check this guy out and see if he can hold the knives. Oh yeah, so these knives fit perfectly in his hands. Like, why couldn't they just give him his knives? That makes no sense. These are vibranium knives given to him by Storm. So this guy is sort of like the Wolverine character of X-Force, I guess, but there's a lot of Wolverine characters in X-Force. I mean, Cable could be considered a Wolverine character. Deadpool could be considered a Wolverine character. Warpath could be considered a Wolverine character. Sort of like the crotchety loner, but just a great figure. Really great. Highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the 90s X-Men X-Force, highly recommend this figure. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I hope everybody's doing good, and there will be more to come. God bless you all. Thank you.